Hey everybody, how's it going? We're talking about DesirToxic by Micallef versus Kajal Homme 2. Which one do I personally like better and which one would I recommend? Kajal Homme 2, and I'll give you my reasoning as to why. Now, if you hear something in the background, my neighbors are getting their lawn done, so please excuse that. But both these fragrances smell very similar to one another. The first one that I tried between these two was DesirToxic. So when I first put my nose to this one, I was like, man, that smells like DesirToxic, right? But the difference is that on my skin, Kajal Homme 2 smells like peach, cinnamon, musk, and patchouli. Whereas DesirToxic smells like blackcurrant, which to my nose kind of smells like blackberries. So if you like the dark berry sort of smell, you're gonna love this fragrance. And then it also has that cinnamon, musk, patchouli, but also an interesting cannabis note. So if you're looking for the more daring, bold fragrance between these two, the more polarizing one, I would suggest DesirToxic. Now, in terms of performance, the winner is going to be Kajal Homme 2, at least on my skin, because yes, it has the longevity of over 8 hours with skin and clothes. On skin alone, 6 to 7 hours, no problem. I was definitely still smelling this fragrance on myself past that time, but within the first couple hours, projection was really good. I could not escape this fragrance. It was really strong. I got complimented on my scent trail with it. On top of that, when I was standing in the same spot and I was maybe a couple arms lengths away from this girl, and she was like, hey, you smell really nice. So this one definitely has the reach. Now, DesirToxic on me does have the longevity. There was a time that it hit around 8 hours because I oversprayed it and I put it on clothes. But for the most part, it's a fragrance that stays a lot closer to the skin. So this one, I've only ever been complimented on when I was hugging somebody. And they're like, oh yeah, you smell good, right? So if you're looking for the close encounter fragrance, go for DesirToxic. If you're looking for the louder fragrance, go for Kajal Homme 2. And with this, it does play hide and seek with me. There's the noise that I was talking about. But like after about 5 hours, I thought that it would fall off. And then when I smell my sweater after the night's done, I'm like, okay, it's still there. It's hanging on, but it's struggling a bit, but it's still there. So longevity is pretty solid, but you would have to overspray this fragrance, in my opinion. Now, in terms of versatility, I would say, well, both of these honestly have the versatility, but I will also give that to Kajal Homme 2 because this is a fragrance that you can totally wear year round besides hot summer days. And you know what? Actually, I'm gonna throw that up as a tie because you can use this in the same occasions that you use this fragrance. Hot summer days are like off the table. Even during spring days, because our spring here is like 70, 80 degrees, I still wouldn't use these. I would reserve these mainly for evenings. But if you live somewhere that has all 4 seasons, then both of these are solid picks. But of course, if performance is something that is a big factor to you, then that's the reason why I would suggest this one over this. Now, for date night, I was gonna say because this is a more intimate fragrance, you can rock this. So maybe I would give date night to this one, but if you're going to like a black tie event, a wedding, then Kajal Homme 2 because it's not obnoxiously loud, but it's loud enough where people can smell it and you smell good and it's not like, oh my God, they're trying too hard. You know what I mean? Now, lastly, with price, both of these I believe are within the same range, definitely over $200. I'm going to try to find discount site links for both of them, so I'll have all of that in the description. But $250 was the last price that I saw, like price range, maybe $225 to $250 was what I saw the last time I looked at both these fragrances. And when you consider the price and the performance and the smell, the performance is what's lacking here just a little bit. The smell is good, but it's the performance, whereas this to me checks off all the boxes. Now, of course, I would suggest spraying these on your own skin if you can find samples of them. Of course, do that, because maybe this might be the beast mode fragrance on you and you might not get good performance with Homme 2. So always, always, always test it on your own skin. But I will say with Homme 2, this isn't a fragrance that, you know, with louder scents, sometimes when you spray them and the closer you get to them, like they're attractive in the air, right? But the closer you get to them, you're like, ooh, that's a bit too much. This is amazing up close as well. So it's a fragrance that has reach, and it can rope you in, it can draw you in, and the closer you get to it, it still is amazing. It does not put off your nose. Whereas this one, just all around, every single time I've worn DesirToxic, I have loved it. There's also been comparisons with this one and Leighton, and I've done videos on that as well. But I didn't really get the cannabis too much with this. I think the thing that really dominated this fragrance was that patchouli, and I think because the patchouli is prominent here, that can be something that would still make this fragrance polarizing. I do think that it's really likable. It has that mass appeal, but of course, usually when patchouli is present in fragrances, there is that chance that it can put some people off because it's that dirty, earthy sort of smell. And depending on how your skin pulls on these fragrances, it might be really patchouli heavy on you. But thankfully for me, I mainly get the fruity aspects of these fragrances, the cinnamon and the musk, which is really nice because the musk gives it that clean sort of dry down. But yeah, overall, Kajal Homme 2 is the one that I would recommend. But like I said, if you're looking for the more bold, yeah, I'm gonna say polarizing just because the cannabis and that patchouli, that's a 1-2 punch right there that, you know, not everybody can pull off really easily. And the thing is, I have oversprayed this fragrance and it's worked out pretty well, but going too hard on it can become nauseating to the wearer. Okay, there was a time that I was on that fine line where I'm like, I like it, but I feel like I'm about to be sick of it, you know what I mean? And then it kind of pulled me back in on the safe side. So thankfully, it did that. If it didn't, then I would have definitely, you would be seeing me talk much better about this fragrance right here. But I do have a lot of love for DesirToxic. Price point is the same, but I'll let you make the decision on your own. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know which one you prefer or which one you're down for. And I don't believe that I mentioned in the beginning though, but both of these are 100 ml bottles. So they're gonna last a long time. Honestly speaking, this fragrance is gonna be in my collection for years and years and years and years to come. Anyways, thank you so much for watching my videos. If you have any questions or any recommendations, please put them in the comment section below, and I will do my best to get my nose on those fragrances. All right, take care. See you later. Bye.